All right, everyone. It is Friday and it's 8:10. And as long as you can see how exhausted the three of us are, we are hard stopping at 8:30, which gives you 20 minutes to talk to us.
Right. So before we start, I have to say, I want to thank whoever sent me a new Magic 8 Ball. So I thank you. And yes, my new Magic 8 Ball says, hold on. It says,
What does it say?
hold on. It says concentrate and ask again. Whoever sent that, I
Well,
thank
that's good.
so much. It was truly appreciated, and it made my day because it came on Mother's Day, which is a very bad. It's
It's
not
a
a good.
hard day.
Yes, it's a very solemn day for me. So, whoever sent that. So,
You are loved.
yes, I am. So, I want to thank you, whoever sent that to me.
Well, sweet.
Yes.
That is sweet.
So, go ahead.
So, little house cleaning. Um, we keep telling you to stay calm, that things are chugging along, and they are. We
Chugging.
I keep describing us like a whole bunch of little cogs in a machine, and like we're just like kind of all just like rolling together. But it is a lot of work, what we've been trying to get accomplished. And uh we're starting to wind down. So we said initially that we had put out a request that we wanted affidavits from everyone. We are just about wrapping that process up because we had New York State affidavits to do, out of state affidavits to do. The out of state process is a lot harder and more time consuming, as it requires a lot more coordination with a national notary company. As and Michelle is the gatekeeper of all of the documents. So she has to make sure that everything comes in, is reviewed and formatted properly. Everything is spell checked and factual, and then gets back to you guys to okay them, and then you go get them notarized. And the out of state ones, they're a little bit more complicated, as they have to be sent to the national notary, and we meanwhile have to track these documents every which way that they go, and to make sure that they're being notarized. For you out of state retirees, you're probably getting phone calls from notary companies asking you to make an appointment with them, to meet with them, to sign them. We are taking care of all of the payment of the cost for that. And then, of course, they have to go through an affirmation process with a lawyer. So that all said, once all of those documents are completed, then everything gets sent to our attorneys in New York City. And then at that point, our case could be filed. Ah, yes, that sigh of relief. I think I'll probably pass out when that day happens. And I know you will too. But we are getting closer. So we just need you to make sure that that you keep making those appointments. There's a couple of people I had to call today because they're not answering their phone when the notary is calling, and this is holding up some of that process. So if you're getting a call from a notary, it's from us. So please take those calls and make all of that happen. So yes, so that's the process there. Any issues, let us know. And I'm sure eventually Michelle and I will eventually find your emails, get to them, because there's like 119,000 in my email box. I have 92 text messages today and 184 instant messages. And I know you're messaging me. I just can't reply to them.
I know.
You
And I
too,
know I'm
right?
at 1,000, like 500 and something in the regular email box, and I am sorry.
I
I
know.
just cannot get to them. I know people are asking questions and sending me
Yeah.
articles. And when I do walk my dog, right, when I do walk the dog, I
Kid you
walk
not.
on the phone and I try to answer emails in between the affidavits that I'm processing to try to get to some, to try to answer them, because that's the only thing I can do. And I just said to my husband, I said, I got to get one of those trays like the old time cigarette girls, because I know there's an actual name for it. When I used to go cigars, cigarettes, and put my laptop on the tray and be able to work so I can type while I'm walking the dog, so I can work on my laptop while I'm walking outside around the property, so she can go use the bathroom and be like, cigars, cigarettes.
Crazy. Lainey asks if we need to get our Medigap plan to take effect 9/1. When do we fill out the whatever? Lainey, you didn't finish the sentence, so I have no clue what you're talking about. But we've always said, and I'll say it one more time. You need to do your homework in that area. You and only you can get that answer for you. And you need to find out from wherever. If we asked you to call your New York State SHIP offices and to call Medicare, even call AARP if you wish to call AARP. But you have to find out what the application process is for you, how long it takes, how long they need to do underwriting, if you need underwriting, and when you should be filing that application. If you're choosing to waive your city health benefits to stay in traditional Medicare, only you can get that answer, because I don't know all of your situations, where you live, where's your primary residence, et cetera. So that is on you guys to take care of. We've always said, come the middle of June, if we do not have a restraining order, this organization will eventually have to tell you, we don't have an answer for you yet. The judge didn't give us a restraining order yet, or our restraining order got denied. You must make your decision. And we want to give you a 2-week window to get that done, which is why we've always said, do your homework now, so that when the middle of June comes, you're not freaking the hell out. You already know what to do. So you need to do that process. I can't do that for you. And I'm going to urge you again to please prepare yourself, so that when we say either we got denied or we don't have an answer yet, you know what to put in place, because you know how long that process takes for you to do. So I hope that answers your question, Lainey. I don't have a better answer for you on that. That's got to come from your doing your due diligence, and that's for everybody. Well, you're welcome, Lori. I know we're supposed to be retired, and I think a few council person seems to forget the fact we are retired and we're working for free at this point. But what could I say? Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. I see all the happy birthday wishes, so happy birthday.
Susan Halberg, if we stay on Medicare and buy a Medigap, when do we need to purchase a Part D plan? September 1 or January 1?
Well, it depends on what Part D plan you have. Well, if you waive your benefits, then that's where it all kind of comes into play. So if you're going to waive your benefit, then you're going to have to purchase it with that plan. Right.
If you waive your benefits to go outside the plan, you need to have that in effect for September 1st.
Right.
If you're going into the Aetna plan, you need to have your plan. Your plan will take effect with the city starting January.
Right.
Hello, Dominic. I know you called me, but I've had absolutely no time to talk to you today. I will call you maybe tomorrow. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm not, because there's like 182 people ahead of you.
Okay, so this is an important question. So Renee Belzeal says, what happens if by June 15th we sign up with Medigap and prescription plan, and the judge comes back later on? What happens with these new Medigaps? So again, this is where we say don't jump the gun, because this is different than this opt out, opt waive, you know,
and we'll get into that whole opt out waive process after the case is filed. But for right now.
Right. So this is why we just want you to find out about the plan, have that option be, you know, ready to go on standby, and wait until we have further information from the lawyers. Because this is a whole different animal than when we were dealing with the Alliance.
Julia says, I'm hearing from a broker that I might be able to skip medical underwriting if my current insurance is being replaced. We do not live in a guarantee issue state. So understand something. We keep saying this over and over and over again. Those states that are not guarantee issue states, you are not guaranteed to be issued a plan. However, there is a rule, it's a federal law, and every state has their own. Every state has its own rules in how it will implement Medigap plans and for who. Like most states don't have a guarantee issue right for those that are under 65 on disability. Other states, you can get a Medigap plan over 65, but you're subject to underwriting. In these situations, typically they're going, and you need to ask them what the prerequisite is. They're going to want to know if you can get a letter from whoever is providing you with your health insurance. So far, no one has come to us to tell us that they've contacted Emblem or the city that are willing to give them a letter that says that they are basically ending their city Medigap plan, and that letter was acceptable to whoever the insurance agent was to give them a healthcare plan without underwriting. Some insurance companies want a letter a little bit stronger than what they were seeing in the March 10th letter. Others want something very strict. Now, if they were to follow the strictest interpretation of that statute, these states do not have to provide you with a Medigap plan. Those states that are our agents in those states, because again, this is a state-by-state basis, those states that are interpreting this statute loosely, which we kind of thought maybe they might do because they obviously want to make a commission, but they don't have to. And we're still kind of sketchy on that with exactly what's going to happen. We've had several retirees notify us that they will not be able to get a Medigap plan in the state that they are in. And these are typically your under 65 retirees. So make sure you ask them what they need in order to give you that plan without underwriting. And if it's a letter, you need to know that you're going to be able to get that letter. So far, we have not seen one that would fit that language. And to finish that question that Michelle was talking about before, what happens if by June 15th we sign up with the Medigap and prescription plan and the judge comes back later on? What happens to these new Medigaps? You have to ask the insurer that question. What happens if I need to get out of that plan? Are you stuck in that plan until open enrollment, or are you able to get out of it rather quickly if the judge does grant a restraining order or fines for our entire case rather quickly, which is unlikely to happen quickly, but still you need to answer that question, not us. We can't answer that. That has to come from whoever is selling you that insurance policy. What is your exit strategy? Because you may just have to wait till open enrollment.
Right, because this is not the same as, again, this is a different animal.
Do we have to waive benefits and opt out before we apply to a supplement plan? Again, that is a question you would have to ask the insurer you're purchasing your plan from. I would assume you'd be able to do it while you are still insured right now. That would make sense because you would need it to start for September 1st. And Elterman, I went to an Aetna sideshow presentation last week. Another warrior had cards made up that she handed out. I was going the next day and I met her and got extra cards. I have about 400 left over. I will meet anyone in Midtown Manhattan and give them out at a rally or any other gathering. Please let me know. Stephen Fisher, Mary and Barbara wants to have a conference call. Awesome. I think that you might have emailed me. Let me see if we can do that over this weekend, when I should probably have time. I love that. Thank you, Stephen. And thank you for putting it here, because this was easier to find than my email. You see, I have 119,000 emails. I didn't know it could get that crazy in Outlook, but clearly Outlook can handle. And damn, Joe Borelli was bitching that he has 10,000. Eat my emails, Joe.
Who is it? Wrong room.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Carol. Let's see. Judy Eisman, in the hospital, just got on. Judy, I am so sorry. I hope you're doing okay. If you need something, please let us know. George Roman, I can't opt out. My something is on life support breathing machine. George, who is on life support? Could you please put in this chat or private message me or Michelle ASAP what the situation is? I need to know that. Carol, it's looking like the 25th will have to be a last minute decision. So I'm just going to say, hold it open. I may not know now until Monday. But we do not have any solid plans yet for the 25th. So hold the date open for right now. If I hear something over the weekend, I'll let you know, but I'm hoping by Monday I will hear something else. Just be on standby.
And bye, Kay.
Patricia Prince, I was told by 3 brokers you pay first month premium, and if the TRO comes through, you cancel the policy and get a refund, no penalty. Patricia, though, I still want every person looking into this to get the answer for themselves, because just because your 3 brokers in your state gave you that answer doesn't mean that's the same answer for all the other people. So please, people, do not take the answers from someone else. You must do your own due diligence. Very, very important.
Yeah, I know, Joanne. Aetna, every time everybody who calls Aetna, they say, yeah, we're going to send you the books. And yeah, I know you guys still have not received the books. Yeah, we know. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm keeping tabs on that. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Maybe Aetna ran out of paper.
Listen, I know there's a paper shortage, Judy
Eisman, do we have a time frame for litigation to be filed? Judy, soon.
Dennis, we'll let you know about the 25th.
Can you explain the meaning of underwriting? Sure, Tia. So underwriting is the process you have to go through to where they determine your risk. So they're going to want to know your age, your health conditions, what medicines you're on, where you live, because all of that factors into what the cost is. Underwriting, it's like when you apply for car insurance or for homeowners insurance. They need to know where your house is, what kind of house it is, what kind of condition it's in, and what its zip code is and how old it is. And then they determine what the value of your home is and how much your premium will be. The same thing with health insurance. They need to know it's for you, how old you are, male or female, your health conditions, what your risk level is, what medications you take, and where you live. That is probably the easiest way to explain underwriting. They need to assess your risk value and charge you a premium. Some premiums can be inexpensive. Some premiums could be super, super duper expensive. How is a Medigap different for those 65 plus? Well, you're older and you have more health issues. And depending what state you live in, that would be more expensive. And if you're under 65 and on disability, those are also more difficult to get. And if you can, extremely expensive. Just because most states do not have a guarantee issue right for those under 65. If you opt out of city benefits, can you get back in at open enrollment? Yes, as from what we're told, the answer to that is yes. Michelle Donet, my husband who's 72 on GHI Emblem Senior Care is freaking out. Tell him not to freak out. He's afraid we will end up with no health plan. No. You'll have one. It just may not be the one you want, but you'll have one. You'll have something. And you need to make sure you make the choice so that he has the one that he wants. I'm older, retired teacher living in Florida early when we opted out months and months and months ago. Okay. Anyone who opted out a year ago, that's long gone. That plan doesn't exist anymore. Those opt-outs are dead. They're long filed, circular can. Don't even think about those. This is a whole new bag of things. This is different. This time you have to opt out or waive. We will discuss that process starting probably in 2 weeks or 1 week. Give us a little more time on that. This more affidavits, more priority. Tell your husband, Michelle, do not freak out. This is not an issue. This is not that kind of an issue where he should be freaking out. Like we said the last time, you should be freaking out if we're freaking out. Do you see us freaking out? Are you freaking out, Michelle? No. Is Carol freaking out? No. We're not freaking out.
Is Carol frozen?
I think Carol's.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She almost seemed robotic there for a second.
I know, right?
I think she squeaked. Once again, I had a televisit with my doc up in Columbia Press, and he nor the secretary or the billing department had anything about a Pony Map, City of New York Medicare Advantage plan. This is insane. So Karen, call them back and ask them what, I don't know what, if you're just abbreviating here, but ask them if they're accepting the Aetna Medicare Advantage PPO plan for the City of New York. Continuing, we have not received an OLR letter. I spoke with Shine agent. I don't understand your statement, Adele, so I'm just going to keep moving. Kathleen says, I have a question. I'm presently on Medicare and Emblem Health. So is the rest of us. I don't see a question there. What's your question? Kenneth, good evening all. Thanks for keeping us informed. This hurry up and wait is monotonous. I know. I've been getting lots of electronic acknowledgments for most of the emails I've been sending, so I know that most of them are getting them numerous times over and over and over again. That's wonderful. I might be able to change it up next week. I did give you a break. I had to bother the mayor the last 2 days. So what you're saying is if we get put into Aetna September 1st and the court gives us an injunction, we have to wait to get out. If you're granted an injunction, everything is supposed to stop. So wherever it is, where the status quo would remain. It is our belief that we will have that injunction before September. We're hoping to still have it in June. And then you would not be enrolled in Aetna, George. So we're hoping that will happen again that way. Because if you file for a preliminary injunction, it means that bad things will happen soon. The judge needs to make a decision quickly. And that's what we're hoping. George. George, could you message me or Michelle with your phone number so we could call you? No message from the mayor or the controller or the city council. This week we feel no love. Well, we got each other, right? I feel like Cher. I got you, babe. Last week, me and Carol were singing just the two of us. Today, we're doing Cher. Oh my gosh. The UFT Ellen is having a rally on the 25th.
No, 24th.
24th. I'm sorry. You're right. It's the 24th. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, my brain's fried. Presently on Medicare and Emblem Health. I'm getting 89% Medicare and Kathleen, your Medicare pays 80%. Emblem pays the last 20. The Medicare Advantage plan, I see that, Carol. I'll bring that up. I know you can't speak. The Medicare Advantage plan pays the full 100% of your bill, but it's the reimbursement to the doctors that's sucky. Yes, you do have to opt out by June 30th, and you would still have your coverage until September 1st, if you choose to do that. Ann Elterman, 26 phone calls and 13 escalation numbers since April 3rd. Package 1 only had a cover sheet. I'm assuming she means she's calling Aetna. Everyone should probably just call Aetna and ask for a book. It'd probably freak them the hell out.
Yeah, and they'll tell you they'll escalate. They'll escalate them, and you'll never get one. So
I would ask for a name and a confirmation number to demark the phone call, because we used to do that. I don't even know if they're doing that.
They don't though. That's
Aetna doesn't.
No, they don't, and that's the whole thing. It's a totally different process. So, you know.
Michelle, there's really nothing to freak out about. Nothing bad is going to happen. She says, my husband is so freaking out. He wants to go to Aetna because he's afraid of losing his health care. I don't know what to do. You will have a choice of your two plans. It's either you waive your city benefits to have Medicare traditional, and you'd have to purchase your supplemental. You would, of course, have other things happen, like depending what union you're in, you will lose your Medicare reimbursement and potentially your other benefits, but you would still have health care. Just depends on whether it's cost-free or not cost-free. And you would have the Aetna plan, but you don't have to do anything, because if you don't do anything, you get rolled into it anyway.
Right.
There's no reason to be freaking out. We keep saying this. I understand you feel overwhelmed and frightened. I know.
Yes, and we understand.
We understand that.
And everybody is frightened. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're going to help you.
But it doesn't really pay to get worked up, because there is still so much more time. If you start stressing yourselves out, you're going to have these mini meltdowns like every week. You can't do this. It's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for your peers to be watching it or hearing it. We need you to stay strong, because there's a lot of work to get done. You could see us working to the point of full exhaustion. There's a lot to get done, because a lot counts on this. You are the reason that we keep doing this. Why we stay up day and night trying to get all of this work done so that we can get this case filed, so that maybe hopefully we could sleep, like go to bed early at a decent hour and wake up late the next morning and not be doing work in telcons in our pajamas with no makeup on. If I have one more person tell me, you're looking really tired. Today I said to this guy, I said, is that the nice way of saying you look like shit? You need more sleep. I was like, well, at least I colored my roots this week. I mean, damn. No, I didn't mean it that way. I was like, it's okay. I totally understand. I had a telecom visit with the Delaware retirees over the national campaign. It was 7:30 this morning. I was in my pajamas drinking my first cup of coffee, and I had no face on. I know it doesn't look like I have a face on now, but I have allergies and my eyes are drippy. It just sucks. Getting old just sucks.
Sleep, it's overrated. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I used to tell them that when I used to work EMS.
Sherry Schlechtman, what happened to hearing from the notaries? Well, Sherry, we will look to see where we will track to see where your affidavit is, but if you are out of state and I don't remember where you are, you should be receiving a call soon. Michelle dropped the rest of the affidavits today, so hopefully that will be happening in the next couple days. Let us track where, mark down Sherry Schlechtman. Let's find where her affidavit is, if it was delivered to the notaries or if it's still in the drive. SCHLECTMAN.
She out of state or she, hold on.
Don Ho, do you all go to the same hair salon? No, I do my own, and I think Carol and Michelle get theirs done.
Oh,
I
have
never seem to get out of my house.
No more.
No more.
Cheryl Schleckman.
I know. I have Sally's actually deliver my stuff along with my groceries. Can you tell us more about our alliance with the Rise Delaware newly created NOSM? Really, it's just simple. Me and the Delaware group were kind of upset that the group that we were working with that was trying to put it together couldn't get off their ass. They were taking days and days and weeks to figure out a damn name. So in the course of 2 hours, me and the Delaware retirees picked a name, set up a Facebook page, wrote a campaign, and published it. We did it in 2 hours. Rather than dragging it out over the course of 2 months. And we updated the letter today because some of the state representatives' responses was that this is a federal issue, not a state issue. We want them to know that it is a federal law that is the issue that's causing it. But because they are a state representative, they need to know about it because this is affecting their state constituents. So we did clarify that language this morning on that 7 o'clock meeting or 9 o'clock meeting, whatever time it was. Michelle, thank you. I'm not freaking out. I'm 80. Good, Michelle. Don't freak out. I'm not 80, but don't freak out anyway. Scott Whitaker, we're on a mission from God. Blues Sisters, we will win.
That's right. Watch out for those penguins.
If we win this case, I'm going to come pick all of you up in my bus and we're going to the beach. And we could blast the Bruise Brothers.
That's right.
I got to wire my radio first. A particular council member's district office was creating the false impression that we've created our own problem by not having the lawsuit filed by now. The person kept ignoring that they were blocking our proposed law based on a lie while casting doubt on the judgment. Let me guess, Laura, is that a Staten Island person? A gentleman, kinda, loosely used terminology with no hair. Possibly. Did he write you a long email with like first, second, and third points? Saying that Marianne's your leader. He never mentions my name. He says the leader has misled the group. Is that, I got a whole bunch of hearts. I think I'm right.
Yeah, I think so.
It was the bald guy that did it. Okay. I'm working on a reply. I actually found his email because I did get it from many of you. But as you can see, I have 119,000 emails in my box, and that one got lost. But don't worry, it will be coming to all of you. And actually, if I finish it this weekend, which I would like to, I'm also going to ask you I'm going to make a post. I need to know all of you guys that are his constituents because I want to copy you on that email. But don't do anything yet. I will post when I'm ready for that. And the moderators, when you see that post go up, it'll probably be on the weekend. Leave it open. Sherry, if you are in Florida and you live in Florida, you should have gotten a phone call. If we have your affidavit and they have it, but I will look. Shayna Call, notary not heard from either. Put Shayna Call, C-A-U-L, on your list. No, Roseanne, nothing. I emailed my notarized out-of-state affidavit. Karen Beckler Marcello, if you sent us your notarized affidavit, does that mean you had it notarized or did our notary do it? No?
Right. If you sent a notarized affidavit, you have to send a unnotarized affidavit because you cannot send a out-of-state notarized affidavit. We need to send a notary to you because we have
to have them notarized. You
right.
cannot have it done on your own if you live out of New York.
Right. But I believe she's on, hold on.
Renee, my affidavit is printed and ready to be notarized. And I believe, Renee, they will be bringing you the document. You don't need to print it. Could you put Renee Belzil and we'll look up Renee as well? It says California.
Yeah, I have not, I mean, we have not sent anybody who is out of state back their affidavit. And I believe everybody who has had the notary sent to them, they have printed it and brought it to them. If I'm
yes, that's their job. But I need to find out where these people are that I'm mentioning, where their documents are, because they're saying they've not received a call.
Right. Oh, okay. Belize and call. Right.
Ann Eltman, you are so calming. 2 weeks ago, I freaked and now I came back stronger. You made me feel better when I sent over 150,000 emails to legislators and was expecting nasty letters back or got blocked, but got acknowledgement. So they went through. I made it a point to be the one that brought the numbers up over the goal of 500,000. And this weekend, I need you to take a time out and step away from your devices. Maria Conti, C-O-N-T-I, add that to your list. I sent my affidavit 2 weeks ago, have not received it back. I'm in New York City.
Yeah, no, that was one of the ones I pulled today that are
okay.
I just
all right. Just know, Maria, like we said, we have a lot of them. So Michelle's just getting to the bottom of the email box. Just give it a little time.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm looking at her name now. She's on my list. She's number 184.
I can't see a lot of the questions because Carol's light is blocking them out.
Yep.
Oh, so light behind her. But you should, when you go back to replay this, you should be able to see the closed captioning anyway. And we'll post it up on YouTube. We'll post it up on YouTube as well. Yep. My husband, Mel Lowitz, sent an affidavit to the lawyers and you, but haven't heard anything. We are New York residents. Fran Kornfeld Lowitz. Lowitz. Mm-hmm. Tina Kaplan, add that to your list. No, Tina, it doesn't mean anything. It just means we just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, I probably didn't get to Tina. I got a Lisa, but I don't have a Tina.
Tina Kaplan.
Yeah, I didn't get to it yet. She New Yorker.
So, Ellen, under 2000, the year 2000, under Bush Sr., did they change the law that allowed for auto enrollment into Medicare Advantage plans? It was called seamless transition. If you do a quick Google search, just because my hands are too busy at this point with this and my cell phone, Google search MedicareAdvocacy.org, issue brief, October 2021. You'll get a 5-page document from MedicareAdvocacy.org. They actually talk about us, and they talk about why this happens and the erosion of choice due to MA. Go to page 3, footnote 18 is the actual citation of the law that allows this to happen. Pull that up. One of the first Google searches will come up will be Cornell University. I think ILR has that statute. Scroll down almost to the bottom and they talk about Medicare choice, auto enrollment.
Tina Kaplan's on our list. That has to be, it was sent for correction.
Okay.
Right.
Ellen Metzger, am I correct that it doesn't matter what Lander does because ultimately Adams has the final say? Because even if he doesn't register the contract, the mayor can actually do it. My original affidavit didn't have the doctor's info or Aetna booklet, sent updated affidavit, but was sent my original to get notarized. Scott Whitaker.
Hold on. I know he's on my list. I saw his name, but I'm not sure. Why are you crying? I see him on my New York list. All right. I know it was returned to plaintiff. That was it. So
well,
I don't know.
We need to know if it's the first one or the second one.
Okay. So I haven't.
Because the second one's the updated, corrected one.
Okay. So I
You want him to just send it to you so it's easier to find?
Yeah, just send it back to me. And again, I still have I'm going through the New York State ones now because like I said, I finished the out of state ones. So now I'm going through the New York State ones and I probably didn't get to the updated, but send it again, Scott, so I can see it and I can move it.
Robert Greco, I'll name him Joe Borelli, typical Staten Islander. I know Joe's not happy with me. You know what, though? They don't like the truth, and he's not the only one. I was very disappointed to speak to a couple of them. They're just not. They are being threatened with their committee positions, and they're also being threatened with their discretionary funding. So I guess because they're not used to being intimidated. I mean, hell, we've been intimidated most of our lives, right, Michelle? I mean, we were women in a male-dominated industry, and yet we still, did what we had to do, and we fought for what was right. I guess in this situation, some of them don't know what it is to do that. Our team has always been said, for largely a group of women, we have a pair of balls. And I would always say, you absolutely do. Ours are bigger and higher. And unfortunately, I don't have a problem with calling anybody out that lies or is trying to throw shade. They have to attack us, like that email from Borelli or the email from Justin Brannan's office. They have to attack me or this organization and all the volunteers that are working their asses off that are helping all of ourselves, because they can't attack the issue. If I were to sit in a room and it would be me, Joe Borelli, and Eric Botcher, Henry Garrido, and Michael Mulgrew talking about Aetna Medicare Advantage, you tell me who would climb the top of the fence of that wall by the end of the day. They don't want to be in a room because they can't answer the damn questions. They don't know the difference between Medicare Advantage and Medicare. So what do they have to do? If they don't know the difference, they attack me. It's okay. I can handle it.
All right.
It's all right. I'm used to it, right, Michelle?
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah. Blame the victims, blame the retirees. It's all your fault. As in Borelli's letter, you should just go litigate it, solve your own damn problem, right? I mean, what kind of comment is you should just go litigate? I had another chief of staff tell me, well, just go litigate it. And if you fail, then come back to us. Maybe we can do something for you in November. What the hell about September? What about all the people losing their doctors? Don't you care about that? They don't want to answer the questions because they don't want to put themselves in a difficult position or have to make a difficult decision. We make difficult decisions every day. And we don't get paid $150,000 a year to do it either.
They don't care.
No, they don't. They're worried about getting reelected, losing their committee seat, and losing their funding. But see, the difference is you guys are constituents. When you email a city council person, we've always said, don't be rude, be polite, but be direct. Like you put them in office. You knew what they said to you, the promises that they made to you. You're coming to them with an issue. You absolutely have to call them out when they're not representing you. Deborah, you're saying you called me and I have not heard back from you. I'm in New York State. I honestly don't know if you mean me or somebody else. And if you did call me, I honestly don't remember. And my voicemail's full again. And if I didn't call you back, I probably found the answer and I didn't need to call you back. So don't worry. Raymond Cohen. I'm in New York State, have not received my affidavit back. Raymond Cohen. Ellen, after the notary comes to my home tomorrow, will I have to send it to you? No, they handle it, not you. Notary came with a printed document and then she notarized it. Yep, no charge. Yes, because we pay all of that. Don't pay the notaries. Matthew Weber, no call from the notary. Put Weber on your list. Renee Belzile, Alexa sent me the affidavit, which was in docs. Renee, if that was today, we probably did not process that. We will check. Michelle, what if we didn't send an affidavit? What if we didn't send an affidavit? If you're out of state, we could probably use one. I would say get it into us like tomorrow. Laura Genovese, regarding the council member that's creating the false impression. Yep, it's that Staten Island guy. It was actually his chief of staff who spoke to me for a half an hour. I know you guys are buried with work, but if you feel like being entertained, I've emailed you an email of what happened. Yes, Laura, I would love to be entertained. Mike Roque, Anne is a trooper. Yes, she is. I have been out of commission for the last 2 weeks. What affidavit are you talking about? Grace, don't worry about it. Perfect. Janice Weiss, New York City affidavit.
Yeah, I have Janice on my list. Probably got to go in for correction. Okay, I'm on live.
What should one do if they're going on Medicare in July? You go on Medicare. You are in the same situation as the rest of us because things change come September or at the end of June. Sherry Schlechtman, am I on your list, Michelle? Yes. Ellen, after the notary leaves, you don't have to do anything. They handle it. Butch, I know you people care. Keep up the good work. I do have options. I have TRICARE for life. Well, thank you for your service, Butch. Sheila Singer, New York City affidavit. Singer. Carol Schindler Scagnelli. Need to add me to the list. I have not heard from the notary, North Carolina. You got that? Gwen, I don't know what you mean. Gwen Forbes Wolf, not Forbes, Forbes. You've said this, the word, you've typed the word twice the same way. I don't know what you mean by that. Carol Spinella. I also sent in an affidavit for New York 2 weeks ago. Spinella. Are the non-notarized affidavits are the non-notarized affidavits holding? Yes, Renee. Yes, that's the problem. Arlene, if you're in contact with Jamal Bowman, I called and spoke to his office and I never heard back from them. John Blau, I asked questions earlier. I might have missed an answer. If someone waives and signs up for Medigap, how does one stop the AARP plan? I assume the waive stops the injunction, but does one have to call? So, John, if you've opted into a plan, you have to find out how you can stop that plan from taking effect if there is an injunction. That's not a question we can answer. You have to get that answer from the person that's selling you the insurance plan. Scott Whitaker, I sent the original as asked. Oh, thank you, Scott. So it's coming to you. We just got to figure out which mailbox it went to.
That's fine. I'll figure it out. It was on the left. All right. So I'm going to let you guys know. Anybody who sent an original affidavit, the ones that are asking, okay, I got to go back because there was a couple of people who sent them as JPEGs. Okay, just to let you guys know, there were a few that asked, what's a JPEG? Okay, that's just, it's a picture. We can't edit a picture. Okay, so I'll go back and those that there's probably a couple that's why we can't use that affidavit. So let me go back and I'll find, I have a separate folder for those and I'll see if those particular names were on that list.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. Do not send us your affidavits as photos if they're not signed. If you're sending them to us to edit or proof, we cannot do it as a photo. It must be in Word.
Or in PDF.
Or in PDF.
Right.
Good point.
Right.
We love you too, Judy and Margaret and Renee and Rich.
Love everybody.
Well,
except,
and you know, that's
well,
right.
We don't love Laura and Etna and the rest of them, but we love everybody.
And it's so predictable. I mean, this is why they have to attack us, is because they can't attack the substance. So they have to attack the person giving the message. I mean, so cliche and narcissistic. And it's a sign of weakness, but it's okay. And they also don't like that it's a woman calling them out on their lies either.
What is this?
Yeah, what's that movie? You Can't Handle the Truth.
A Few Good Men.
Well, we're a few good women.
That's right.
William Shenton, you put Shenton on the list too, New Jersey.
Right.
Put Rosalind Price on the list, Nassau County. Diane Zaretsky did not hear about my notarized affidavit. Zaretsky, Diane, I don't know if you're in New York or not New York. If you were not in New York and it was already notarized, it's been handled. If you are in New York and it's been notarized, then it should have been sent to Michelle.
Right.
Richard Posner, Florida, Posner. Lucy Zaslow, Zaslow, New York. Stuart Wolf, I cannot go into a remedial session. You must go back and rewatch this entire video. And if you haven't done an affidavit at this point, don't worry about it.
Please check its network connection and power supply.
Tommy Hogan, did you put in an affidavit? I don't understand your message. Carol Alper. Carol, I believe you should have already been notarized. Carol, I'm showing you were scheduled. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm showing you were scheduled.
Okay, so I have these people need to send me these affidavits. These are the out-of-state affidavits that need to be resent in either PDF or, okay, I have Marilyn Rose, Edith Rosenbaum, Jessica Kerr, Den Kahn, and Nancy Massey. Actually, Nancy Massey, we have where she's okay. And Andrea Cohen. These were all sent in JPEG. We can't do anything with these. And Stuart McKay. Okay. And actually that's a New York one that was sent to the out-of-state email, but we can't do anything with the JPEGs, which means they're just an actual picture. So they either have to be sent in Word or in a PDF format.
Or in Pages. Could you do Pages?
Right, or Pages. That's fine.
I can. Pages is fine, Raymond.
Right, right. Or you can copy and paste into the email, and I can copy and paste into a Word document, which is
right.
fine.
That's easy too. Just copy, paste it, and stick it into an email to us. We'll put it in the proper format and send it back to you.
Right. Or I can, send it for correction. I mean, that's fine. To upload it just, I mean, we can't do anything with this for correction. So these specific people, so those are the only ones that I could not use.
So Karen asks, can you comment on fundraising? I'm going to suggest, because Carol's not going to be able to speak because her internet is kind of wonky, but we need to keep fundraising because remember last time we had litigation, our court costs, in the height of litigation then, and we only had one case, was $100,000 a month. We now have 2 cases going on at the same time, and we have a lot more involved in both of these cases. So our suggestion is to please encourage your friends to keep that, send money. No, you're not a spammer from Nigeria. Please keep those donations rolling in because this is heavy. Yeah, I know, Ellen. Many people are disappointed at the city council. This is what happens when you have young, inexperienced people. Gail Granite, any info on meeting with Lynn Schulman from District 29? We have reached out to her. I personally texted her. I was hoping she would call back, but she hasn't. She's not replied back on her group email. And in the interim, one of her opponents has asked us if we would meet with him. And so we said yes. And actually, many of you asked us to meet him as well. So I said, okay, let's talk to whoever will talk to us. If the sitting city council person doesn't want to meet with us and they have an opponent, we'll meet with them and see what we can do, how they feel about this. And since you're constituents, it would also help because I'm sure you have other constituent issues you would like to see how that prospective city council person would like to address your issues. So it's a win-win. Tommy Hogan, I did not notarize, waiting for it to be sent back. So Hogan, Hogan, that's New York. Wow, need clarification. If anyone waives before June 30th, will an injunction stop the waive from going into effect? Yes, John, that is the intent of an injunction. I can't guarantee you, but that is what happened the last time. It stopped everything from going into place. Joanne Martinelli Casita, Michelle, I forgot to send you mine. It was notarized and faxed to Alexa and sent to the lawyers by UPS. She mailed me a copy and she got it. Do you still want a copy? Do you want a copy?
Yeah, send me a copy.
Send her a copy, Joanne. Mike says we're over an hour. I know, Mike. I'm trying to see if I could scroll anything down. We do need to close. We went over our own time limit. We need a buzzer. I'm at the end. Yay. All right. So Sonia Agron, I sent mine today, my affidavit. Okay, no more questions in the chat. We're at the bottom.
No, and I get it. And you know what? A lot of the New York people, I'm just siphoning through those emails today to see, because there's been a crossover on where the emails were going to. So I just finished the out of states. Schleckman, yes. I know I saw it today. It's waiting for correction, and you should be hearing shortly from the notary. Once it gets fixed and it's okay, then the notary will be contacting you probably this weekend. So that will be taken care of. The New York people, I still have 150 to go through. A lot of it's duplicates, but we will be getting to you shortly.
Can you write down Burnett, Burnett, David, Georgia?
Okay. I didn't see that one. So you know what, Burnett, send it, because
if you could resend it, David, because she does not.
I have nothing. There's nothing in that email, so it didn't make it to me.
It didn't come through. David Burnett, if you can resend it, please.
Yes, because then I'll go back in the morning and I'll pull it.
And
but make sure it's in PDF Word, and if not, copy paste it right into the email and I'll put it in the proper format.
Cool. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Have a great weekend. Thank you to everyone. Thanks to the moderators. Thanks to you guys for being on this fight. Thanks for dealing with all these crazy council persons. And even though they've been, doing all sorts of not so nice stuff and making those calls and emails anyway. Yes, Tia, we appreciate everything you guys do as well.
Yes.
So
again, love my new shiny new 8-ball. Yes, I do.
Michelle says thank you for her 8-ball. But have a great weekend, guys. Carol says keep that money flowing. She'll be back home next week. And have a great weekend.
Yes. And again, as I always say, without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So again, keep the faith and just enjoy your weekend. And we are here for you. So again, I do apologize. We just have not been able to do day-to-day business because we're trying to get this off the ground so that we can file this lawsuit. And we love you as always. And we love our moderators and everybody else. So peace out, and that's it.
Yeah, stay calm. That's the name of the game. All right, guys, love you, and we'll see you next week. I will probably have, if I remember what a homework assignment I'm supposed to put up for the weekend, I'll do it tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll go back and watch our own video and remember what the hell I was supposed to do. Anyway, I do love yous. Have a great weekend. Step away from your computers if you can. Ciao.